What is up, all you beautiful legends? I hope you guys are having a great week. We're going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm screen recording all this off my phone. Going to try this out for the first time, and we're going to be rocking it in vertical mode. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. Let me know how in the comments that it looks and sounds, and we're just going to be trying this. So, to explain everything, I know you're going to be seeing a lot of these go up, but I'm taking this right off of the freecomicbookday.com/catalog. And as we know, Free Comic Book Day is coming up on May the 4th. So I'm very, very excited, and I'm going to be going over some books that I'm going to be picking up. Some books I definitely think that you should pick up and that you shouldn't miss. And we're just going to be going over the list and talking about things. I know there's also some pops and some toys, and we're going to go over that in the second part of the video. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check the details. This isn't sponsored or anything by anything, but I just want to share, my love of comics and that this is a great day, especially for new readers or somebody looking into getting into these books or titles, that this is a great jumping on point. So we're going to start right here with the top left, and I'll zoom into each one of these as we go. And this is the Free Comic Book Day Blood Hunt X-Men. So I've talked about it a lot on my channel, and I'm not real big into tie-ins or event books. There is a ton of these, but I am going to be picking up the main run of this myself. There are some red band editions that are going to be coming, and those are more of like the more mature, more graphic editions. So that's the ones I'm going to be going for, but I am going to be picking up this, and I do recommend picking this up as well. And it says, time once again for a shot of all new Marvel goodness, absolutely free. First witness of the overture to this summer's major crossover event starring the Avengers Blood Hunt. So we're basically, like I said, it's going to be a big horror thing. Bunch of vampires, so fingers crossed it looks good. I've seen a couple preview pages. We had the Marvel, I forget what it was called, but it was like the Blood Hunt preview, and that was cool. It had like blood splatter on the cover, but I'm cool with it, so we'll see. I'm not going to be picking up any of the tie-ins or anything, so yeah, let's move on. Next is Disney Encanto. So that's the one great thing about Free Comic Book Day, is there's something for everybody, and I really enjoy that they really give a great thing for kids and their readers. This is something I'm not going to be picking up. My son's 13, so he's not really into this, but if you do have kids, I would recommend this. So I'm not into Encanto. I do remember watching the movie though when it came out, so make sure you check that out. Next is definitely my most excited one, and we'll zoom in on that baby right there. And that is the Energon Universe Special. So, yeah, this is the one that if you can't get any, if you can only get one, this is the one I recommend getting. This is going to be 3 new stories from the Energon universe, where we're going to have G.I. Joes, Void Rivals, and Transformers. They're all going to be brand new little short stories probably, but the covers of this are phenomenal. I think there's like 2 or 3 different covers. I know though a Daniel Warren Johnson one is absolutely fire. If I have it, I'll flash a little image on the page if it lets me back in the editing. So we'll see how that turns out. If it's not there, then I forgot about it or didn't do it. But yeah, this is the one, you know me, I'm all in on the Energon universe. I'm reading Transformers, G.I. Joe, I'm reading Duke, Cobra Commander. It's weird that it says G.I. Joe there. Maybe okay, just stories from the Energon universe. I mean, G.I. Joe's not part of the Energon universe right now. It's its own thing. So it's weird how it kind of includes that. I know just Duke and Cobra Commander, and then we're going to get Baroness and Scarlet. Or not Baroness, but Sinestro and Scarlet. Excuse me, we're going to have them next. Sorry, that just kind of threw me off. I'm reading this as I go on my laptop as well, the descriptions on my end. But yeah, so G.I. Joe's its own separate thing. It's probably just talking about the characters, but this is the one I do not recommend passing up on. So let's zoom back out and we'll move to the next one. So this is going to be Hellboy, Stranger Things. And it says, from the stories from Mike Mignola's Hellboy and Stranger Things, yes please. In Hellboy the Fortune Teller, Hellboy consults a crystal ball reader for help solving a murderer, but things go off the rails when she gets distracted reading Hellboy's own future. So it looks like we've seen these in the past with Stranger Things kind of teaming up and crossing over with a lot of different titles. So that might be one I pick up. I am going to be going ABX, my main online LCS. Shout out to them. They will be down in the descriptions as well. They sent me some shirts, some free swag, and some early swag as well. So I have all that. So huge shout out to them. I absolutely love Paul to death for everything he does. That's my main LCS. But I am going to be going to my local LCS and another one. And at the end of the day, don't just go there for the free comics. I know a lot of LCS run deals and stuff. They have like dollar books. So this is a great time to go support those local comic shops and get back money into those shops. So let's move on to the next one. And this is from Dynamite, and this is Johnny Quest. Let's see. I'm not a fan of Johnny Quest, but I do remember his cartoons from when I was a kid. And it just looks like the fantastic sci-fi adventures, exploits of 11-year-old Johnny Quest as he travels to exotic locales around the world. So basically, you know, just your standard, typical Johnny Quest book. This is one I might pick up if, I know they limit them. It's like, sometimes it's like 3 per shop or 3 per person or 5 per person. But I am a Pokemon fan, and they're cool. You know, this one is Pokemon Advanced Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It says inspired by the best-selling video game Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So I do remember those back in the day. So we might check that out, but we will see. One comic that I have been, you know, not really getting into reading, but kind of picking up covers when I see it is TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this is a free comic book day, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It says it's been 4 decades since Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird released the very first issue of TMNT in 1984. Join us as we kick off a brand new era for the heroes in a half shell. So it says first there is a new mass in New York looking to carry on the tradition, get a special prelude in the new miniseries. Okay, so it looks like it's starting a whole new kind of arc and new world for TMNT. So that might be cool. I might pick that one up. The covers look cool. This one's cool. This one I might pick up. I know a lot of people probably will be excited about it. James Tynion is hit or miss of me. I've tried to read Something That's Killing the Children. It wasn't for me. And then I most recently tried reading Deviant. I'm still kind of on it, but I fell off. And we'll see, man. We'll see. James Tynion's hit or miss, but this is the worlds of James Tynion. So I definitely recommend checking that one out as well. So another one I am big excited about, and if you're not reading anything with the Ultimate Universe in it right now, you're sleeping under a rock, because for me, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther have been phenomenal. Ultimate X-Men wasn't my vibe, so I dropped that one. But this is free comic book day, Ultimate Universe Spider-Man #1. And yeah, this is going to just dive into it. Just weeks ahead of Ultimate Spider-Man 50, get the first taste of the return of the Goblin. Plus, prepare for the next evolutionary step of the Ultimate Universe as a powerful new hero debuts. And it says, oh, it doesn't end there. Oh no, there are some surprises up our sleeve on this one. So that is another absolute must-have for me, and must-have for any fans reading anything Marvel or anything like that. This is one I'm not familiar about, so I'm reading it as I go. This is Unicorn Crush, Andrews McNeil. Again, I'm not familiar with this. So, let's see. Young readers will enjoy the caring comedic adventures of this colorful duo. So that's all I need to read. I'm not a young reader, but again, I said it before, I do appreciate the young reader aspect to Free Comic Book Day. And then here we go again, Free Comic Book Day, Witches of Brooklyn EXC #1. The smash hit Witches of Brooklyn series return. So it looks like another kid's book, like it says, Random House children's book. So another one for the kids. Next, we get into the silver books. I'm not really sure. If you want to leave in the comments what between the silver books and the gold books the difference is. My guessing is maybe the amount of copies they order or the cost to the LCS. Again, let me know down in the comments what the difference is, because I'm not really sure. But next we have the Cursed Library Prelude. This is Archie Horror Presents Cursed Library. This is one I'm going to be passing on. I'm a fan of horror, but I don't really read any Archie books necessarily. Next we have Asterix Olympic Special. This is one I'm not very familiar with. This is Asterix and Obelix celebrate the 2024 Paris, I'm going to butcher this, Lutia Olympics with a review of their fantastic physical accomplishments. I'm not familiar with that one, so I might have to look into that when I get there. These are going to be some indie ones, and a lot of these I'm not going to be familiar with, but there are some coming up that I do recommend probably jumping on. So this is Boombox 10th Anniversary Extravaganza from Boom. Celebrate a decade of Boom. I'm not a big Boom Studios reader, but I do highly recommend their newest book, Uncanny Valley. It's by Tony Fleece. If you know Who Framed Roger Rabbit whatsoever, that book is absolutely like that, and I highly recommend reading that. So I might check this one out. We'll see. Next, we got something for the Conan fans. We got Conan Barbarian Battle Black Stone. So shout out to Gary B. I know he's going to be picking this up, and I know a lot of people are as well. I'm not a big Conan guy besides the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie back in the past, and I've played some video games. So going to be passing on that one. This one is Cursed Verse, Blighted Dawn, issue number 1. Again, something I'm not familiar about. Let me check the descriptions. Let's see, we got Bombshell and Tom Tom and the Witch Hammer debuted in 2023. Two excited fans looking for something new. So if you're excited for that, shout out to you. Just because I'm not picking something up isn't necessarily my taste. I know these are limited, so I gotta kind of be picky and choosy with what I get. We have Doctor Who 15th Doctor. I've never watched any Doctor Who, so shout out to the Doctor Who fans. So I know you guys, if you are going to be excited about that. Next, we have Dying Inside by Vault Comics from Fallout Boy's Pete Wentz. Huh? That's interesting. If you guys know who Fallout Boy is, shout out to Pete for making a comic. This one I might pick up. The cover's kind of cool. This is I Lie Popeye number 1. Popeye arguably, man, I cannot talk today. Arguably one of the most iconic characters in comic book history makes his return to comic shops next summer. The century-old comic strip and legendary cartoon characters reimagined for the modern age is this brand new series by Marcus Williams. So besides not being able to say arguably, man, I never knew I could say that word. That's a relevation in this video. Yeah, I should have had a water on standby or something. But we do it raw, we do it live. But yeah, shout out to Papa. I'll probably be picking that one up. Shout out to the gamers. I have played all the Fallout, or the Far Cry, sorry. Got Fallout on the brain as well. I was just playing that right before this video. But this is Far Cry, Call of the Herd. So the games are pretty cool. This is villains from the popular Far Cry games are transported in a prehistoric times by the priestess Batari, who has pulled them from the lives before they committed their most heinous crimes. Okay. I'm probably gonna check that out then for sure. So if it's got villains from the popular games, that's gonna be dope. So I'm definitely picking that one up. Next we have Flash Gordon. So that one's cool. I actually was able to meet him. I didn't get to talk to him or anything, but he said what's up to me as he was sitting there at GalaxyCon as I walked by. So it was cool that he was there. But for all you Flash Gordon fans, there's that. Next we have Cannibal. This is from Blaze Publishing. So dig your toes into the hottest new horror manga, but watch out for teeth. Already lauded in Japan and spawning a live action adaptation on Hulu. Huh, so this might be cool. Might be something to check out for all you manga and horror fans. Man, I've remember this cartoon, but I've never read any of the books. This is Gatchaman Zero. The triumphant return of Gatchaman, the iconic Japanese animated franchise. So I know there's a lot of fans of that. I know there's a lot of books, so we're just going to keep pushing through, but I do want to highlight every single one. So just in case there's something out there that you might have missed, we have Initial D, Kana of Great Show. Have no idea what that one is. That looks like a Japanese book as well. And then we have a couple more kids books coming up. We have Katie, the Cat Sitter, and the Loud House. And then as we go down, what is this? Maleficent 1? Is this an re-release? Huh. A stunning vision of villain. So I'm not sure. I think this is just a re-release of Maleficent #1 because this series already wrapped up. Shout out to Lady Bears. She was reading that. Marvel and Fantastic Graphs present Atlas Library Comics. And leave me know in the comments if I overlook one that I should be highlighting. Marvel Voices. I'm not really a fan of picking up any of the Marvel Voices except for their covers. I think they're all, like I said, they're all like little short stories. They've done them in the past. And I'm never too big of a fan of picking up the one-shots or the short stories like Edge of Spider-Verse and things like that are doing. But shout out to that book. It does have some really cool covers. Next, we have Monster High. So I remember those toys. Just shout out anybody grabbing those. We have some more for the young readers, Night Librarians, and then one I'm actually going to be picking up as well. This is One Piece, Ace's Story and Status Royale. So if you're a fan of the Netflix show, I never watched, I'm a big anime fan, but One Piece is one that was too long and I never got into, but I was a huge fan of it on Netflix, so I will be picking that up. We got the Overstreet Guide to Collecting Comics, and then we have Romeo vs. Juliet Kill Shakespeare, some more for the younger audience, Snoopy Beagle Scout Adventures, Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and then one with a pretty cool cover. I like that Star Wars #1. Are there Rebel Survivor Stranded on Hoth, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, Lando Calrissian, and Chewbacca. Mount a Dangerous Rescue Mission to Echo Base Lightsabers, Blasters, Snow Troopers. Oh my. So that might be one I pick up. And then you have another one for the young readers. We got Star Wars Plants vs. Zombies. This one's cool. Street Fighter versus Final Fight. I know Street Fighter does a lot of crossovers, and again, I'm a big gamer, so that's always a cool one to kind of check out. We have The Valiants by Valiant Comics, and then we have Free Comic Book Day, Tons of Strange. So that image isn't showing up. There it goes. That one's kind of cool. That looks like the Creepshow homage right there. And then we have Ultra Duck. Carlos, a regular duck, just got dumped by his girlfriend and life as a freelance do-it-all. Let's see. That is until he gets superpowers and becomes the only duck who can stop a powerful creature. That sounds wild and nonsense. And then we have something for all the bronies out there. We got Unico Awakening. Not sure if, what's her name? Trish Forster. I know she's worked on some of these books before and has done a lot of art for them. So shout out to her and shout out to them. And that's going to wrap it up for all the comic issues. So we're going to stay put and then we're going to cut over because I know there are some dope pops and there are some dope figures that I am looking forward to. All right, and lastly is the Funko Pop Omni-Man and Invincible, that iconic moment where Mark gets absolutely destroyed by Omni-Man. He's like, think, Mark, think. And this is, I think it's a PX Previews exclusive, limited to only 25,000 pieces, which most PX Previews exclusives always are. I'm pretty sure it being a Funko Pop moment like that, it will probably be with the MSRP, probably $29.99 or something like that. But that is just so dope. I'm an out-of-box collector on a lot of the bigger Funko Pop moments. I have a lot of Star Wars ones and a couple other ones. But other than that, I'm not a huge Funko Pop collector. But when it comes to like certain things like this, I think this is phenomenal. So I will be trying to pick this up. And just buying pops and, you know, exclusives like this is a great way to also support the LCS on top of getting the Funko or the comics. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope share this out. Hopefully this helped you, educate you, and maybe found a new comic or two that you're going to pick up. And shout out to all the new readers and any younger readers out there. So we're going to leave it right here with Mark getting decimated by Omni-Man. I hope you guys have a better day than that. Stay legendary. Make sure you hit the links down below. Make sure you collect and read those comics and be safe out on this day. And as always,